Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you very much.
Well, you just released your new album with the Band Geeks, True. So how did the release day go for you? Do you do anything special during those days?
Oh, I ran around the house 10 times.
Do you get nerves? No.
No, 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 no. My hair needs fixing. I go for a run every morning, and I come back and then I realize I didn't do the washing up from last night. So I had to do the washing up and fix my hair, and it's not good. But you
No,
look beautiful.
well, thank you so much. Well, to be honest, when I listened to True, I got into Yes, when my dad put on the letter when I was 8. Um,
Woo!
so quite a long time ago right now. But when I listened to True for the first time, that's sort of what I felt like as well, that it felt like a continuation of the letter and magnification. So was it like that for you as well, sort of to pick up where you left off, even though, you've been writing music in between as well?
True. I think when I met the Band Geeks, which was a year ago, I was mesmerized by how good they were and how happy they were. And, I just, went on a tour. And then at the end of the tour, I said to Richie, the bass player, I said, why don't we do an album? Got nothing else to do. So we started recording. He and the band live on the East Coast of America, and I live on the West Coast. So we had to Zoom each other every Tuesday to go through the experiences because I sent Richie some ideas and he sent me some ideas that he had. And then every Tuesday we'd sort of be in the band together in the studio in the cosmos. And it was actually a lot like being with Yes in the 70s, where I was surrounded by very talented people and I could play guitar a little bit. And, when you have Steve Howe and Chris Squire, Bill Bruford, Alan White, and Rick Wakeman, and so on, you just point ideas to them. You just say, hey, this section, can we do another kind of da 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 da? And they say, okay, John, because they called me Napoleon because I was so small, you see.
Yeah, actually, I watched a video of the Band Geeks where they sort of, talk a bit about the process between you. And it was a lot, where you not only do Zoom, but also exchange like voice notes. But is that how you write music, like just by singing?
Well, years and years ago, when the computer became very connected to the world, that the MP3s, you could send music to people. And this is like probably 30 years ago. And so at that time, I knew Chris and Steve. So I sent them an email saying, why don't we work together with I'll send you some music, you send me some music, and we'll see what happens. And I never heard back from them.
Did
So
it reach them though?
no, it did, maybe didn't. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe not. But so the following week, I put an advert on my Facebook. I got a Facebook page, and it said, "Musicians wanted. Send me 1 minute of your music, and I'll sing for you," sort of thing. And I enjoy that. That's what I love, is because you get people from all over the world sending you music, and it's a natural thing to want to sing along.
Mm,
And that's what I did with Richie and the Band Geeks,
mm.
just having fun singing and stuff.
Is it like because you obviously toured with them before deciding that you wanted to do an album with them, but
Yeah,
was there, because they legitimately seem very excited about Yes and their music and the legacy and just they like when they talk about the music, you just can feel the love. Is that sort of why you decided you wanted to do an album with them?
yeah, I think that was it. It's like, well, we've done a tour. I don't want to just go and do another tour. Why don't we do an album? And then next spring we'll tour, yes, classics and epics and True album, which would be like a nice 2 hours of music and stuff.
I heard them say that while creating this album, it wasn't as much about, trying to copy what Yes is doing, but sort of figuring out what you guys used to listen to in back in the day and sort of start from there. So, do you hear anything like that in the parts they wrote, like inspiration that you used to listen to?
Yeah, I call it yesism. I mean, there are long form pieces of music. It's just been things that I love so much. It all comes from Sibelius. I was
Yeah.
a big fan of Sibelius. I still am, because I listened to
Really?
him just a week ago on a flight. And he did long form pieces of music. In those days, 100 years ago, most symphonic music was in three parts, three
Yeah.
sections. And then he did the Seventh Symphony, which is 26 minutes long. And I thought, this is amazing, and that's what I want to do. So that's when I spoke to Steve 50 years ago and said, why don't we do something? And we did Close to the Edge, which was a long form piece. And I'm still into that. I love the idea. So on the new album, you have Once Upon a Dream. It's 18 minutes long, I think, but it's something that you can listen to and it just seems to fly by.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that it started from like a regular 3 minute song, but that you just sort of let yourselves go. So how does it usually, how do you get started on these long pieces of music?
Well, if you're working with somebody like Richie and he'd suggest an idea and then send it to me, and then I'd say, "Oh, great," because I have this other section of music that is very. I think I wrote the music for Once Upon a Dream. I think I wrote it about 8 years ago with a friend of mine, and we have this chant at the beginning, which is, in fact, I think I have the lyrics here, which helps. Once upon a time, oh, it's enough to challenge it, stick around looking for it. It's enough to challenge it, took around. It's just something I made up. And then after we got to sort of 10 minutes in, I said, now we should go to a very surreal emptiness and sort of angels, sort of choir sounds and things like that. And then I'll sing something and I think what did I sing? What's one of it? 1 second. Sorry, what's your name?
Laureline.
Laureline. I love that name.
Thank
I
you.
do. I do. I'm just finding the middle section. I got to sound like a real professional, but I'm not. We dance, we fly, shine. Oh, twice upon a dream, you were the angel of your story. So that was the middle section, as twice upon a dream, asking for the majesty to call and let you hear them, see them, be them. That means you're asking the majesty, which is divine, to show the true angels, and then you can join them and be one for 5 seconds, sort of thing. But that was the middle section. And then by the time it was a certain length, you say, well, what do we do now? And I said, well, I've got my finger in my ear. I said to, we were doing the Tuesday session, and his name Christopher Cross was the keyboard player. And I said, can you get a really good church organ sound, like a big church organ sound? He said, oh, yeah. And I said, okay, because we've come to that section now, and then you have to like wake everybody up. And the church organ comes in and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't think about Lorelei, you don't think about time by
Yeah.
then. You just
Nice.
along the path to the musical, how do we finish it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful because Richie did a beautiful guitar solo at the end, because I was singing about Everybody wait for it. Here it comes, love. That kind of thing. And then Richie started doing a guitar solo over the chant, which started the song. So it all came together over a period of maybe 2 sessions on the Tuesday. We did the Zoom.
That section you sang earlier, and there's a bit in the beginning of the song as well, sounds also sort of very rhythmical, as if you really use your voice as an instrument, so to say. Is that something that you like doing in general, to play around with music like that while you sing?
Yeah, and you know where it comes from? Pygmies. I saw a beautiful movie about pygmies who live in Western Africa, the Congo. And these pygmies just go out hunting for monkeys and things like that. But they go out in the early morning, and they go out, and probably about a dozen of them go out there to find food for the day, And what they do is they sing all the time. They go beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop. And that's one of them. And they're going to the guy, beep, bop, bop, bop. So I started creating some music like that years and years ago. And I don't know what happened to it. I just like the idea that they will sing rhythmic things. And then I realized they're just mimicking the insects.
Yeah.
That surround them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bumped into some guy who does adventurous holidays, and he'll take you anywhere in the world, especially in Africa. So I spoke to him just a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I want to meet the pygmies, because we're about the same. No, they're very small people. And then he told me, if I want to do that, I've got to go into isolation for a month.
Oh, really?
Me and Jane, my wife Jane, said, no way, no.
I mean, it's not too different from COVID times, in the end. So
True.
if you don't want to do it, I'd say go for it.
Well, Jane, my wife said, no. We'll go to where the Bushmen are, because they're beautiful people too.
I think it was around 2018 when you did Yes featuring John Anderson, Trevor Hembrick Wakeman, and there was also some talk about new music there, but unfortunately that never happened. But I was wondering, did you ever reach out to them that you're starting this new band, and have they listened to True?
No, I've known them in my life,
Yeah,
but I don't see. Hey, guess what I'm doing now? No,
it doesn't work like that.
no. You spend time working with people, and then management comes in and tries to tell you what to do, and you say, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather not do it. Is that okay? I'd rather not do that. But management, all they're thinking about is money.
The reason why I was bringing that up is because I'm wondering, like, did you have any songs that you started then on that you used for this album?
Yeah, but I can't use it because it's complicated when you work with people that are not happy.
Yeah. Well, that's
no, honestly, it becomes very complicated when you want to use a piece of music, because I wrote a piece of music with Rick, and he just wanders off. Rick, he does his own thing, And then I thought it was magic personally, and it's somewhere in all my stuff, my studio. It's somewhere, and I know it's good. I know it's great, and I'll have to maybe wait until.
So I read in the press release that there's going to be extensive touring as well with this album. And you also mentioned that you'll be doing more classic shows as well. But is there any possibility of you guys heading to Europe doing a tour?
Yeah, they've asked us to come to the UK, and I said I won't go to the UK unless we do Scandinavia, Germany, Czechoslovakia, and Paris.
How long has it been since you've been to Scandinavia? Because I guess even Yes hasn't been, at least in Finland, for like a long time.
I know, it's terrible, but I was there last year with 25 teenagers, and we played at Uppsala.
Yeah.
and Uppsala is somewhere out there in
Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah.
And I did an album with Ronja Stolt, and he came to the show with the kids, because these are teenagers and we're playing complicated pieces of music, Close to the Edge and Heart of the Sunrise and da 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 da. And he was fascinated that we could actually play that kind of music. And I said, well, these teenagers are very smart playing yes music.
Yeah, and it's really awesome that, the younger generation enjoys yes music as well. So it's great to
Yeah,
keep that legacy
I
going,
love,
I guess.
I love that.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much it for our time, unfortunately. Do you have any last thoughts you want to share with your fans about the new record or?
Well, I'm so grateful that I'm still alive. I'm so thankful that I'm making music like True, and I have so many projects to finish before I go to the next wherever it is. And I can't say any more really. But thank you everybody and for listening to True. And I hope you enjoy life and be good and peace. I'm a hippie.